Well, hey, good afternoon. It's another session of our Fun Fact Friday. Today we're talking about our amazing Windermere Foundation that we're so excited about and so proud of. This will air on Friday here in April 7th. And today we're so lucky we have Shelby Hoover with us. And Shelby is one of our foundation reps. We actually have two in our office. We have a Denver Metro rep, Nicole Randacy. She was unable to attend today. And then we have Shelby, who represents us in Colorado Springs. So welcome, Shelby.
Hi.
So good to see you. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the foundation. I'll provide a little more scope. I'm here down the road, but let's have a little fireside chat and talk a little bit about our communities and our company giving and what the foundation is.
Yeah, so the foundation with Windermere is something that was started, I believe, with the genesis of Windermere. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yep. But over the 50 years, we've raised $50 million. So, yay. This year, we actually have made an effort, Nicole and I, to become the foundation rep so we could fully represent our office with corporate and also hit our goals with our raising donations.
Very cool. Very cool. And we're so excited. And then we've, Andrew may be able to shed a little more light on what we've been doing historically in the Denver market. And I know, Shelby, you've got a great idea to tie in for Colorado Springs that we're excited to hear about too.
Yeah, definitely. So in Denver, I'm really proud. We've been able to connect with a few organizations for the last several years. For a while, one I'm not going to say the name of because they do like to maintain their anonymity, but we are able to help out families who are in like a halfway house situation that we're able to kind of help them out with food, help them out with kind of groceries. We did a cleanup event annually with them, and then we also would make them food about once a month. So that was really, really rewarding. And then we from there we kind of expanded our service over the last couple years to include another organization kind of actually just right here in downtown Denver that provides like a grocery store. So they're essentially it's a free grocery store for families in need. So these could be people that are maybe experiencing homelessness or just need a little extra help with kind of the grocery bill for the month. So they go through and they apply and they are having to share some information with the company. But from there, they do provide them with once a week they can go in there and just kind of collect groceries that are totally free of charge. These are all based upon donations from Windermere amongst other organizations in the area. And yeah, it's great. I mean, and it's everything from meat to vegetables to fruits and healthy food that maybe they would otherwise not have as ease of access to. And as well as things for their home. They can furnish their home with flowers and other sorts of like kind of small decorations. So it really feels like a home, right? So kind of bridging some of the gap between maybe some of the SNAP benefits some of these same families may be able to make use of, but also, sometimes they aren't able to connect with other kinds of foods they may have, or sometimes those SNAP benefits may not be able to be stretched to afford healthy foods and fruits and vegetables that they can get for free, right? So now they can really stretch that budget out and not have to worry about, making it to their next round of provided care from the government. They can use that and also use this private care that's afforded to them through just donations and people volunteering their time. So that's kind of been what we've done the last 2 or 3 years here. Mm-hmm. And to my knowledge, continue to plan on supporting these folks as we go forward here. But I'm really excited to kind of hear now that Shelby and Nicole have stepped up and are really expanding these roles and mm-hmm. We've foisted extra responsibility on them by expanding our donation goals and our commitment to charity here. So I'm really excited to hear how they've decided to kind of expand that and multiply our donations here that we do out of the Denver office.
Yeah, absolutely. So Shelby, tell us a little bit about your thought maybe for to start down there in Colorado Springs for this coming June.
So the foundation wants us to support one of 3 groups: families, homelessness, and children, or women and children. So I'm really passionate about gardening and horticulture and like diving into that a lot deeper in my own personal life. And so I thought it'd be really interesting to blend my passion with that, with something that would be geared towards what our foundation would support. So I know that there are a bunch of schools here that have their own community gardening programs to help teach kids how to raise their own or grow their own vegetables and herbs and stuff. So I want to connect with these schools and see how what they do with the produce that they've grown. And, if they donate it to homeless shelters, or they're donating it to families, or it's going back to the kids. I just think that would be a really cool way for Windermere to get involved and support those kids and those schools and those communities.
That's awesome. I'm really excited for that. And it'd be fun to come down there and get our hands dirty and help the kids and do stuff, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about, Andrew alluded to it a little bit, but so we, through our transactions, the agents have the ability to donate a dollar amount, whatever he or she chooses at closing, that would then goes to the foundation. Some do more or less, whatnot. What we did was, when we launched the brand in Denver in 9 years ago, we kind of raised the bar, and we came up with $25 a transaction is what we donate, even if an agent didn't, right? So the company makes up the difference, or whatnot. And part of that really set the tone nationally for Windermere. And we really believe that, we spend all this time with our people and training our people and giving them an amazing tools and technology, and providing, homes and helping people buy and sell homes and invest in real estate, right? But at the end of the day, if we're not providing back to our community, right, and supporting our local communities where we live, that would be tragic, right? So Andrew and I had the ability to be on a call here a couple months ago, and the way that Windermere evaluates that is based on your head count size, your agent count size, and your transaction volume, and however algorithm they use. We were notified that our office does about double what was expected from the office size. And so we were given a challenge to increase that number a little bit in 2023, which Andrew and I graciously accepted. So we're excited about that, to continue to give back, right, to others that are less fortunate. And you hit on something that was really interesting about the schools and the school programs where people learn these things. And to you, it's become something that I think was at some point a little bit of a thought. But you actually are, I see the plant in the background, and sitting behind you, you're really getting into this, aren't you?
Yeah. I actually just bought a water hydroponics system. There we go. And what I want to start doing is incorporating my plants as like gifts to my clients. And I know it's a part of who I am. And so I just want that to bleed through my business. But I just found that this was a really good opportunity to kind of blend the two with our foundation efforts. And I love seeing children starting to understand this skill and learning this skill for themselves, because if you can grow healthy foods for yourself, then you're going to be able to be more nutritious. And I think just have a greater appreciation for what it takes to actually grow our own food and eat locally and support our own communities and just be involved with that.
That's wonderful, and I think kind of identifying like a creative way to connect yourself to not only your clients, but to connect Windermere to the community is just an amazing idea, right? So I guess, can you tell us a little bit about, because I think that we all, what are the best ways for our agents to get involved beyond, just kind of being there for our day of service, which I'm sure we'll talk about and we're very proud of. But what about like our best ways for agents to get involved? Obviously, we've talked about the donation that we all choose to make throughout all of our closings. But like our, week in, week out, how can we make sure that we're able to connect with some of these services that the foundation offers so that we can really get back to our community in an effective way?
Well, first of all, the foundation is very easy to get in contact with. Nicole and I had a chat with one of the owner's daughters who is running the program, Fanny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we had a great conversation. She walked us through how the foundation runs. She came and did a presentation with our office and explained how the proceeds are basically matched through the foundation and how they come back to our chosen foundation groups that we want to support. But ultimately, as an agent, if you want to get involved, you could talk to Nicole and I, you could talk to your managing and employing brokers. You just get to know the basics of what the foundation requires in order to support whatever nonprofit that you want to support. And essentially, they've kept it very open because they wanted agents to be able to have freedom of creativity of how we are going to apply those foundation funds. So I would just say, like your business, find something that you're interested in and passionate about and find a way to bleed it through.
That's great.
No, that's great. You're right.
Yeah. And then, and I'm just kind of, wanting to dig in a little bit more about some of the other options the foundation has out there. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that a portion of our donations also go to like a group fund that can give like some rapid assistance if there's a large need that comes upon us. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so there's a pool that part of our donations get set aside for. So the best example that we have is with the fire that happened in Boulder, Denver area. We made a decision, I think within 24 hours, to give them a lump sum so that they could just have the cash and move forward quickly. So that's what that pool is for. And then the other proceeds are set aside for whatever specific nonprofit that we want to donate to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're exactly right. And that we've had a couple of those in the last 9 years of things that have happened in Colorado. And we've made a decision very quickly as a state and said, let's go. They need stuff today, and that's a great feeling, a great position to be in, right? And it's that little extra that we're giving back. So one of the other things too is, so once a year, usually it's the first Friday in June. This year, it's going to be the second Friday in June. But the entire organization in all 11 states, every office, from corporate in Seattle to our local offices, branch offices, are closed for the day. And we do something together as a team, right, for community, right? And in this case, in Colorado, we'll do two, obviously, because we're going to do one in Colorado Springs as well. But we do that, and also it's a way for us to just it's not a work day necessarily. It's for us to give back together and collaborate and grow, even as agents and leaders and managers. It allows us to grow as well within our community and be able to provide some of that thank you, but also some of that sweat equity too. So that's coming up.
I like the service I like the service part of it, which is our whole career, but I like being involved on the other side of where we're supporting just local people who really need our help. And I love the team building aspect that we get to have as a company. So it's really nice.
Yeah.
I haven't worked for another real estate office that does anything like this.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I appreciate that. So any other thoughts on things with the foundation or things that you like or that you're drawn to that we should talk about today?
I just like the flexibility of how they've structured the foundation requirements. Because I've been wanting to get a little bit more involved with volunteering down here, but I thought it was going to be a little bit more strict on like how we support families or women or children or homeless in need. And as I went through the foundation orientation with Fanny, I realized that it was way more broad than I was understanding of that. So I just love the creative freedom that we get to be able to be a part of the foundation and support that.
Yeah, and the other thing too, Andrew and I, actually you were with us when we went to Seattle this last year, and it seems like everything that we do as a company for support and sponsorship. So, for example, we have the race is coming up here the first weekend in May, right, on the Montauk Cut, and that's something that Windermere has been a partner with Washington University for decades, right? And so a big portion of those dollars that are raised go to the Windermere Foundation. We also, even though I know we're in Colorado, but Windermere is a sponsor, the residential sponsor of the Seattle Seahawks. So there is a tackle homelessness element to that based on players and what they do, and then also what the NFL does tied to that as well. And all of that goes in that big pool, right? So, whether you're a Seahawks fan or not, right, it still is nice to see a company doing that in an effort to get that word out in a more positive manner, especially in an environment right now where it seems like everything is just like questioned, right? It's just like, well, how come it was red instead of green? You know what I mean? It's like, let's just give back to our community.
Yep.
Make it simple.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to something else I want to touch on real quick here is that there's, there's not really an idea that's too big or too small for the foundation or for our folks here at Windermere, right? So if you are, if we're fortunate enough to already have any of you on our Windermere teams, be it here in Denver or across the 13 state network, and you have an idea, then I would say bring it up to us or bring it up to your individual managing broker. Or if you're on, another team and are considering Windermere, we'd love to hear, one of the first questions I always ask anyone that's talking to us is, what do you care about? But beyond, real estate, what are your passions and how do you want to get back to them and how do you want to get back to your community? I mean, 50 years ago, this started off as like a little bit of something they would give back to their community, just as a chunk of their sales. And flash forward to where we are now, we've given over $50 million in the last 50 years. And, being the Seattle Seahawks sponsor that gives back to charities in partnership with them started off as like well, what if we made a phone call? And then it eventually evolved in someone was an idea someone had, and then it got chased until it became a reality. And I really want to make it clear that if your idea is charitable and involves giving back to your community, I will work my tail off to make sure we do our best to make sure that's a reality. So there's no idea too big or too small. Everything from giving $25 out of our commissions all the way up to being the official sponsor of an NFL football team have all been done and get done every single day.
Yeah.
So reach out, let's have a conversation. Let's see how we can make any idea happen to the best of our ability.
I totally agree. And man, that was very well said, Andrew. And and you take the lead on that in our Denver office as our managing broker. And Shelby, we're so excited to integrate Colorado Springs, into that. Having you down there is amazing. So, and any other final thoughts on the foundation before you kind of wrap it up today?
I think we covered it.
Yeah, I think we did too. So we'll.
It's a simple thing. Like, the funds are easily accessible. It's a creative space for you, and it's all about supporting the local community. So
I love that. And what we'll do is we're going to make it a point in June. We'll probably be splattering all over social media as well, and sharing some of the things that we did as a group and as a team. So that'll be an exciting time for all of us. Awesome. Well, Shelby, thank you so much. And unfortunately, Nicole wasn't able to join us. Maybe we'll do another one of these with Nicole, but you two are working really hard for us and are a great representation of our office. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I
really appreciate all your hard work, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.